All right, Jay Illa doing the dang thing. Welcome back to the Jam on You. Time for our first jam session of the morning. So according to the Daily Mail, Prince Harry, get this, he plans on inviting two of his ex-girlfriends to his wedding with Meghan Markle in May. Apparently, Chelsea Davy and Cressida Bonas, both of whom Prince Harry used to date, they're getting invites, which makes me beg the question, is it ever okay to invite an ex to your wedding?
I'm scared to say my real opinion.
So Danielle's going to be cool with this one. Danielle's going to be cool with this one.
No, don't do it.
She'd probably have one of them in a wedding, like in her bridal party.
Right, her best man.
Just throw on a suit, it'll be fine.
You would invite an ex to a wedding?
Well, now we're really good friends.
Oh my gosh. You know, I don't believe in that.
Hell no.
I don't believe in that.
I wish the woman I proposed to was like, okay, so I'm just going to have these two guys. We're really close. They're great. I want them to be there on my special day. I was like, cool. Let them give you a ring. Because there's no way in hell I would allow that to happen. And I'm not saying it should be.
What he said. Yeah. And I don't say H-E doubles.
What about like your ex from college? Because that was so long ago. Are you friends
I don't care if it's my 7th grade girlfriend, the one I had my first kiss with. She ain't going to be there. It's about the woman that you're standing up there with and the people in your life in that moment. Now, there is extraneous circumstance. Like if there's somebody that you used to date who's a great friend of the both of you, well, that's different. Like because then she's obviously endeared herself not only to you, but to her. Meghan Markle doesn't have a relationship with these two people. Is Meghan Markle's ex-husband invited to this wedding?
No, allegedly all of these reports don't say that.
So that's weird. To me, I will say this. I do feel like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, it's whatever Prince Harry says goes, and I get he's royalty. I'm starting to feel like Meghan's kind of like having to get in line for some things here.
You think? What makes you feel that way?
I feel like he's like, hey, I'm having these two people, and that's just the deal. This is your new family. Your family had problems. Like, and their sister's coming out like, no, we didn't have problems. She had a great life. And I feel like Prince Harry's the one who had the quote saying that. Like, I just feel like he kind of says whatever. And Meghan just kind of goes with the flow.
I think it's the throne. I don't think because they are royal, they don't have a lot of say. They don't have, I guess, 100% say over what they would choose to do for their wedding. So I do think the throne and their royalness kind of decides a lot of what they do. But this whole ex-girlfriend thing, that's definitely a Harry issue. And let me just say, I would be calling up every Tom, Dick, and Harry to see who I could get there. I'd be like, what you doing?
Yeah,
Bring your wife. Bring her too.
100%. Well, on that note, is it all right with you guys if I send it over to our queen? Our princess, our royalty, Christian
Queen K.
Thank you guys. So royal in here this morning. But Chicago, this is your chance. We want to hear from you. We want you to weigh in on this jam session and let us know your voice. We want you to be heard. So is it okay to have an invite of an ex to your wedding? Visit the social media pages at The Jam TV show. Leave us a vote and a comment with your thoughts. We'll be reading a few on air a little later this morning. I'm hoping it gets as heated online as it did with you guys. Back to you.
Don't do it, y'all. Don't do it.
Women are definitely going to go in on that one. I cannot wait. Danielle, you might be in the crossfires.
Uh-oh. I was scared to say my opinion.
Well, the world's most famous former White House intern is making an appearance on the pages of Vanity Fair this month. She writes about a recent run-in with former independent prosecutor Ken Starr, the PTSD she suffered since becoming a national punchline, and where her legacy stands in the age of the Me Too movement. That's none other than Monica Lewinsky. How would Monica and the affair have been received today, you guys think?
I'm so interested. I really have been thinking about her a lot in this Me Too movement because I think that we, as a culture, crucified her, and she was 22 or 23
She's looked at
years
as the
old.
homewrecker who, I can't believe she did that to Hillary. A lot of the blame was obviously placed on Bill, but it was equal blame in that moment, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, for 13 months, the FBI was investigating her. She was put through so much. And this Vanity Fair article really was interesting. She explains all the trauma that she went through. And she said that the Me Too movement has now made her finally feel like she's not alone in 20 years, which I thought was interesting.
It was like this all happened just 20 years too soon for her, because I feel like it would get a totally different reaction today. Yeah, 20 years too late. It would get a totally different reaction she would get a totally different reaction today. I feel like people wouldn't be as hard on her because look at Bill Clinton. Like, you see Bill Clinton on the street, you're not like, oh, look at that home wrecker. He's completely rebranded.
I'm trying to get a picture with him. I mean, that's
the
the guy.
He's president. Allegedly the first black president of the United States.
True.
We love him. Like, he's a likable guy. Like, we don't think about that. But if you hear Monica Lewinsky's name,
she's a punchline.
You would automatically think, oh, homewrecker, affair, president.
It's interesting. Until this story came up that we're presenting to you guys today, I had forgotten about Monica Lewinsky. And then when it came up, I got to be honest, I thought about the homewrecker first. And you guys were kind of like, Well, imagine having the most powerful person. Forget a Harvey Weinstein. Forget somebody like that. This is the guy who's the leader of the free world honing in on you. You talk about powerless. That's the epitome of it. And I guess I forgot all that because when I was coming up with, as a young adult in this Monica Lewinsky scandal, we were predisposed to thinking this woman was a homewrecker. Yeah. And it's crazy because now you look at it completely different. And I'm glad I do because of everything that's happened.
You know who Monica Lewinsky needed? Kris Jenner.
No,
she needed Kris Jenner.
No one needs Kris Jenner.
She needed Kris Jenner to come in and to rebrand a scandal. Can you imagine? She would be a millionaire.
How does this come back to the Kardashians?
Because that family knows sex scandals like any other family. More than any other family.
Can I ask you this? And this is very difficult to answer because none of us were there. Is there any blame to be placed on Monica Lewinsky? Because at the end of the day, it was an affair.
Yeah.
Should she go away unscathed without any blame in this situation?
So about a year ago, I read Monica's account of what happened, and I watched a bunch of interviews because I got wrapped up in the story and interested in it. And he really pursued her, according to Monica. And she was 22 and an intern at the White House and trying to figure out what her. Do you remember at 22, you're trying to figure out your career and your life, and it's kind of like your first real job. I put the blame on him. He was in the power position. I'm not saying that either of them shouldn't be forgiven, but it's on him.
Yeah. Okay.